Hey guys, in case you don't know, there are thousands of amazing apps, open source apps available on the internet, particularly a place called GitHub, which is like a repository for all the best open source applications. And I'm going to show you today how to build and run them and install them on one of your Android devices if you're not a developer. I've set up a brand new user space on my system. I'm going to be downloading all the software required, and in this case I'm going to be setting up probably the best piece of open source software there is, probably the best software in general, and it's NetGuard. It's an open source firewall to help you block ads, stop those background services constantly pinging the internet, all that kind of stuff. So the first thing we're going to be doing is downloading and installing Android Studio. So just going to Google, Android Studio, and it's the first link. There is an advert, and then just hit download. I agree, download, and it's going to go ahead and start downloading it over here. Once it's downloaded, open up the DMG file and drag it into applications. Now inside Finder, Applications, you should see Android Studio just there, and we're going to open it up. So select Open, wait for it to launch, and you'll be greeted with a beautiful wizard to help you give you a nice guided setup. So next, I pick Custom and select the Dracula theme because I love dark mode, and you'll be prompted to install the Android SDK, the SDK platform, and Intel Haxum, which allows you to run the emulator. But I will also select the Android virtual device so we can actually test the app on my system before deploying it to my phone. So next, finish, and it'll go ahead and download the stuff from Google's wonderful servers. You will be prompted to enter your password. Go ahead, that's for Haxum by Intel. And then once it's done, hit finish and you're ready for part 2. And that is to download the source code from the internet. So I'm going to type in NetGuard, GitHub, and it'll be the first result on there. So you can actually download the APK straight from GitHub, but we're going to download the source code itself because compiling from source is way cooler and way more secure than running someone else's app. So just double click the zip to unzip it and then go into Android Studio and select Import Project. And select it, so it's in the downloads, and then NetGuard Master, open. It will go ahead and start syncing Gradle, which just means it's setting things up, and you can see that there's ticks happening and spinny wheels, and boom, we got an error straight away, and this says that key store properties is missing. So you can usually just solve this by following the link in the error, and if this screen doesn't appear for some reason, you can just click the build there and just follow it along there. So here it's saying load key store properties. So you know what? I'm just going to comment it out by pressing Command/. And then hit Command S or File, Save All. Once that's done, I'm going to click Try Again in that blue banner up there. Error number 2. Path may not be null. So I'm going to click Open File and just comment out this block. Again, Command/, Command/, Command/. Boom. Hit Save. And I'm going to try again. Now as you can see, we're getting places. My firewall has picked up some accesses to the server. However, it's noticed that I haven't actually accepted the SDK's licensing agreement. So we're going to have to go ahead and do that. And to do that, you got to go up top, Android Studio, Preferences, System Settings, and Android SDK. And I'm going to go ahead and select Android 9 because I've got Android 9 on my phone. Hit Apply. Actually, you know what? I'm going to hit cancel, and for some reason it's reset my theme, so I'm going to go into appearance and change it back to Dracula. Android SDK, again 9, apply. Yes, I would like to download this beautiful SDK, and it's around 500 megabytes, so be aware of that. Here is where the cookie was crumbling. We just need to hit the accept button to show that we support installing Android SDK, and it will go ahead and download again from Google servers. Once it's done, hit finish, then OK, then try again. Now we are making some progress. You can see that Gradle sync is running, it's setting up the project, and if you look on the bottom of the screen, you can see that's where the spinner is happening, and on the left there's lots of spinners. So let's just leave it alone for a bit and come back when it's done. As you can see, it's now done and the status message says indexing. All ticks are everywhere, so I'm going to go ahead and hit that run button to run it on our emulator. And the first time you run an emulator, it does take a couple of minutes to set things up. You'll see that beautiful Google animation and your application will appear on your emulator. That's right, we're running an open source application on Android via your Mac. Amazing. Alright, congratulations is in order. You now officially have the application running inside an emulator. However, we want to get this guy on our phones. So there's two ways of doing this. One involves plugging in the phone via USB, enabling the developer mode and simply deploying it on the phone using that. Or alternatively, you can just simply transfer the APK over Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. So we're going to do just that. But first, let me just make sure it's fully built by clicking on that hammer button, running the task. Make sure everything is fully built and compiled. Once that is done, I'm going to go ahead and right click on the app folder, reveal in Finder, double click app, double click build, double click outputs, double click APK, double click debug, and that is it. NetGuard version 2.2.66 and debug. As you can see, this is a small 2.8 megabyte file, so I'm just going to transfer it over Bluetooth. Launching Bluetooth file exchange on my Mac here, selecting the APK, dragging it in, hitting send, and selecting my target phone, which is going to be my Samsung Galaxy S7. As usual, on the phone, you get a Bluetooth notification, you just hit accept, and it'll start transferring over. Boom shakalaka, the file is being transferred over, and happiness is about to embark on all of us. And once it's downloaded, just select that notification. Click on that file. It will say that Bluetooth doesn't allow you to sideload apps, so just hit settings and allow Bluetooth to do that. So back, install. Now you will get a notification saying it's blocked by Play Protect if you have Play Protect enabled. This is because this application is signed by you, so you can trust yourself. Install anyway. Open, and boom shakalaka, you have the app on your phone. Alright, I hope you found this video useful, and again, you can use this method to sideload any apps you find on GitHub yourself, and it is a bit tricky just when you get those errors. That does annoy you, but this was a very complicated project, I gotta say. It's a firewall, it had a sign-in key, and we managed to disable it, and we managed to run it, and it's now running on my phone, and everything seems to be good in the world. Hope you enjoyed this, and let me know if you run into any issues or if you like any help with any particular applications you find on GitHub.